think we are good to go for the happy fun times trading hour. Bringing back an NHL 15 classic of trade days, except, you know, it's not Eashel. We have a lot of players that we have to get rid of to try and kind of optimize what we're doing here. Even if it means I'm not getting rid of them for much, I'm still going to try to do it, which is why someone like Markstrom, I am going to try to get rid of if I can, even if it's for, say, a 4th round pick. It will still be worth it. Let's be honest, it's not like we have a reputation to uphold or anything like that. So we can just wheel and deal, and how can you damage that which cannot be damaged? We'll send Markstrom to the Florida Panthers for a 4th round pick. Defensively, we have the Osgood, Capobianco. Hate to do it, but our boy Himmelfarb, Abid, and Zelashak. Is there any interest in any of these guys? New Jersey. How would you like to give me... Okay, you wouldn't. The New York Islanders. How'd you like to give me a 3rd round pick for all of them? Thank you very, very much. Getting rid of dead weight like the mob. That's one way to put it. Right wing side. Alosh has to go. We are also going to move Legwand, but he has a little bit more value. Left wing side, we want to get rid of Ben, DiGiacinto, Johnson, Andreas Janssen, that is. And then that was it. No, it wasn't. It was also Staples. Yeah. Where can we send these guys? Ben's the only guy that has any interest, apparently. Can I move them all to the Leafs? No, I can't. No, I can't. Some of them are under contract, too, so that's going to complicate things. Winnipeg, no. Is it going to be too much to try and move these 5 at once? Dallas, it's not going to work anyway. Detroit, not going to work anyway. Florida, nope. Minnesota, nope. New Jersey, nope. Islanders, Islander, no. New York Rangers, no. Ottawa, Philly, oh my God. What is this? You mean to tell me every team has a proper number of contracts already? What? Not in my EA NHL video games. How dare you? Every team actually has players under contract and can't take 5 contracts back at once. This is an outrage. This is an injustice. I will not settle for properly working video games. Every team. Nobody can take on this many players at once. Fuck's sake. Okay. Well, let's just try to trade the right winger in Alosh first. Does anybody actually want him? No, they don't. Can I get a 3rd rounder from the Dukes? No, I can't. Can I pair him with the 4th rounder to get a 3rd rounder? No, I can't. Can I pair him with a 4th and a 5th to get a 3rd rounder? No, I can't. Fuck me. How about a 4th rounder? Thank you very much. All right, so Alosh is gone. Left wing side. Let's do Ben and DiGiacinto. Can I move you guys for literally nothing? It's a 4th round pick. Yes, I can. Go ahead and cheer in the streets. That's what I'm here for. I'm just a big goddamn charity case. We got Staples and Johnson. Can I get rid of you for a 4th rounder? Could probably do more than that, but Buffalo can't do the trade anyway. 3rd rounder from Calgary. Nope. Yeah, we're just handing out parades left and right. You know? We're just here to make other people happy. That's it. My God, 2 players under contract. Dude, even 2 players under contract is still too much for most teams to take at the start of the preseason. How have we strayed so far away from God's light with NHL 24? How? This is insane. This is insane. Every team is fine. It's literally one person because Janssen's the only one under contract. Every team. It's like, nah, sorry, we have players under contract already. What happened? This is ridiculous. Is there seriously not a single team that can do this? Nobody wants Andreas Janssen? Well, Andreas, I hate to tell you. You might just, okay, submit a bug report. Yeah, no kidding. All right, Andreas Janssen will stay then, and we just won't sign Hebert. Can I move Staples and Hebert, given that they are both not signed? That shouldn't be too difficult. Can I get a half-decent pick away from the New York Islander? Second rounder? Too much. Third rounder next year. Thank you very much. All right, Staples and Hebert on the way out. And from there, I have 1,012 centers that need to get traded, including Dylan Strome, who we're going to try to use to actually land somebody half decent. If that is at all possible. Don't know if it is. So let's take a look around the league again. Trade block options. You still got like Henrik Sedin, Johnny Oduya. Eliza, take it easy. Thank you again for hanging out. It was good to see you. Well, at least your name in a chat. And I hope you've been well. Go to Chicago for Nick Schmaltz. That would be the way. All right. It's not looking too good on the blockbuster front when veteran Stephen Weiss is maybe one of the best guys that we can get. We're looking at like Stephen Weiss and UC Jokinen, for God's sakes. Pominville. Andy Green is still probably the best defenseman that we can swing a trade for. Okay. Well, this isn't going to work out too well for me then. So Andy Green, I would like to use you to improve this team. It is either Boudry or Henderson that has to go. Obviously, Henderson's 2 points worse, but has a higher potential. I am all right with using Matthew Henderson because we do have plenty of other prospects in the system. So if we use Henderson, then we go to one of the centers. They want Kinnunen, but already we'd have to take somebody else back aside from Andy Green. What do we got for forwards? Highest rated but low value. They are also trying to get rid of Ryan Clough. Clough would fit this team really well. So Henderson, Kinnunen. I did want to move on from Hummel as well. We can add him to this for no extra cost. It won't go through in and of itself, but we do have draft picks. So, Lethal, what's going on? I'm just here so I don't get fined. Too late, because you are late. You're already fine. So if we get rid of Henderson, Kinnunen, and Hummel in the same deal, I might have to add more to this than I'd prefer, but it's not a bad deal for us. What about the second from Montreal? Done deal. All right. So, that'll also open up room to probably get rid of Stone. Let's go to defense, go to Stone, pencil in Andy Green on this defense. And Ryan Clough is here now as well. That's not too bad. Let's go back this way towards the Stephen Weiss and Yuki Jokinen crowd. Stephen Weiss as a third line center would be pretty good. To get the deal done, again, it's going to be Stone or Murphy. It would almost make more sense for it to be Murphy that gets dealt instead of Stone, since Murphy has the value and he's an RFA. So actually, we could keep Michael Stone, get rid of Connor Murphy after all this time, because he didn't really develop. And then we can also add a prospect like Legwand, who's not bad. We do need another left wing, another right wing. Let's see who else we could possibly add here from Detroit. Joachim Anderson, the Rafflecopter, Michael Raffle. All right, so Weiss and Raffle for Murphy and Legwand. Still didn't go through. What do we have for value? What if we use the Buffalo third? There it is. So Murphy, Legwand, and a third are gone for Stephen Weiss and the Rafflecopter, Michael Raffle. Sweet. That leaves us with a center need and a right wing need, and we still have quite a few centers to get rid of. The problem is, I'm going to back out of this screen just to see if anything changes. The problem is, I really don't think we have who else we would want on the open block to pull off the trade that we're looking for. But this should be a playoff team. I mean, we've made some significant improvements. I mean, just having Tarasenko and McDavid together is insane. So one more look. Please. Good. Ooh. I did not think the Ducks would be shipping off their goaltending. Jarrett Stoll is a fourth line center. That's not really a significant help. We'd be better off trading for draft picks. Fedor Tutin's still out there. Honestly, if we try to upgrade on Michael Stone by trading for Fedor Tutin, I mean, it's veterans, but that wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be that bad. This is how I ended up with Tom Gilbert, probably, yeah. So out of those centers, we know we wanted to move on from Dylan Strome just because we don't have the space to develop him. I do need an NHL level right wing that they technically have with Alex Wenberg. I mean, that could work. That could work. Michael Stone, Dylan Strome for Fedor Tutin and Wenberg. It won't go through now. It's just a bit low, but that should technically go through. Once we just add a little bit extra to it. What about a fourth? Nope, I said a fourth from Anaheim. There we go. Didn't want to do it with Dylan Strome, but a deal there. We randomly bring in Alex Wenberg. We need one more fourth line center, and we still have a handful of guys to get rid of that we just can't afford to develop. So get rid of them now. And that is Howard, Samuelson, Mironov, Point, and Noah Rod. Well, we technically did it out of order. I don't see how I'm going to be able to trade these guys, though. The only one that really needs to be traded, though, is Jace Howard. The rest of them don't really have the value. It makes sense to get rid of Howard now, because if we sit him out the entire year, his value is going to drop anyway. So I do need to find a team that's willing to give up a fourth line center, which brings me back to Buffalo, who are trying to get rid of Jarrett Stoll. And we can just pick up Stoll and a pick for Mr. Howard. So a third, a fourth, and Jarrett Stoll for Jace Howard. What does the game think about that? Apparently not. What about a third and a fifth, or even a sixth? Just a third? Wow, that's kind of surprising. We do have a lot of later picks. Let's add those 2 sevenths. Close to fair value. Yeah, you don't say. There we go. So Howard and picks for Jarrett Stoll and picks. Fair enough. And honestly, I think we're looking pretty good. This team's going to make the playoffs this year. If they don't, I'll cry. So it's Byzantine and Taratukin with Horkoff and Zeeler in the AHL just to try to develop them. Even though technically at an 83 overall, Taratukin's listed as a minor league starter. Jesus. What is with the player roles in this game? Maybe we should sign a different goalie then. Who's out there? Jonas Hiller's still out there. We only have $3 million in cap space right now, though, apparently. There is a chance I'm going to bring in a veteran goalie like Jonas Hiller. And we're going to drop that 83 overall goalie down to the minors. No, that's wrong. If you back out, it'll refer. Oh, that's right. That glitch did still exist, didn't it? Uh-oh. Well, in fairness, then. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's right. That glitch exists. Which means Matt Barzal's definitely not going to be a depth forward, is he? Which means we probably just got rid of certain people that we didn't have to get rid of. We do have a good roster. I didn't get rid of anybody that's like, oh, it's a disaster that we got rid of them. But we did probably just get rid of somebody that we didn't have to get rid of. Probably. I mean, again, we got rid of like Dylan Strome. But there's really nobody else that we got rid of where it's like, oh, that's a disaster. Even Dylan Strome, it's not a disaster because the people that were like, oh, they're better than him are still better than him. But I might have just picked up guys like Klo, Raffel, Weiss that I didn't need to pick up. That could be the problem. Okay. Well, let's take a look then. Yep, Teratukin is now a backup. Okay. I didn't get rid of another goalie that I needed, so that's okay. Goaltending, we're fine. We're fine. Defensively, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, see how LeBlanc is in fact a top. So that's the first one where it's like, oh shit, is LeBlanc is actually NHL caliber. So I did get rid of that defenseman Henderson that I didn't need to get rid of and traded for Fedor Tutin when I didn't need him and Andy Green. Okay. So we'll have to make a decision on what we're going to do defensively. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so now I don't have a sixth defenseman at the AHL level. But we could just send down Fedor Tutin. Because I'm not worried about his development at all. But again, I have the list of dudes that we got rid of. You know, we got rid of Howerluck, we got rid of Strome, which is fine. But pretty much what it was expecting guys like Barzal to have to be in the AHL. So probably we weren't going to need to actually get rid of Strome. So that's the big thing is, oh shit, we did have space for some of those guys in the AHL. That blows. All right, say we send down Fedor Tutin. That's our 6 there. Right wing side. Falkenham is now a 4th liner. Ah, shit. Shout out to Thundery Voucher. Someone just said randomize my username, and that's what it came up with. Tremendous. So yeah, Brooke Hidink is good to go at the NHL level. Walmark still isn't. But yeah, see, we thought Ryan Falkenham was going to be a 4th liner, and he's not, which means we wouldn't have had to trade for Wenberg. The alternative is obviously send down Mike Brown in the meantime, even though he's been our captain. But that is the deal that makes the most sense. Left wing side, Domi, Lesio, Klo, Raffel. Nothing changed on the left, which is good. And then centers, the biggest change is Matt Barzal. That is absolutely the biggest change, is him being an NHL caliber option. I wouldn't have traded for Stephen Weiss. Nobody in the AHL, though, stepped up to like NHL level or anything like that. So Barzal has to be at the NHL level. It makes sense to send down Jarrett Stoll for now, or just to have him as a healthy scratch. Okay. I don't think that's a disaster. Thundery, welcome. Always love it when someone from the YouTube side of things is able to tune in. I know it's a weird time. How is a 76 overall listed as a 4th liner, but 79 is only a depth forward? Attributes. What type of player they are. Skill player, gritty player. That's why. That would be why. All right, so I am going to have to send down Stoll for the moment, and then probably just call him back up. Like I said, I'm not too worried about this, but we have Tarasenko, Wenberg, Hidink, and now Ryan Falkenham. And then centers. Goodness. I feel like it's got to be Barzal, Brassard, Weiss. A lot of playmaking talent. Shadowstalker, 11 months on the primer. Thank you very much for that. Sorry you caught me at a moment of focus. I feel like that's the team, which honestly isn't that bad. Like I said, the biggest changes will be the AHL side of things, where it's like, well, shit, we thought Falkenham and Barzal were going to need to be AHLers, so we technically got rid of 2 dudes there that wouldn't have had to have been traded had I done the refresh. So, and then we have Gormley, Green and Krug, Mahou and LeBlanc. That's not bad. 3 offensive defensemen. And then goalie-wise, Vizintin and Teratukin. This has to be a playoff team, right? It's got to be. It's got to be. So now if we go back, we look at centers. Call up Stoll. I am worried about it playing certain centers. Let's see if I call up Noah Rod. Call up Mironov. Samuelson. All right, so Samuelson and Point are the 2 I'm going to have to keep an eye out on. It does put Samuelson in the lineup. If we take him out for Konechny, for obvious reasons, Samuelson and Point will be healthy scratches. Right wing side. It's more of a left wing side problem then. Yeah, Renaud needs to be in for Mitchell. So it is Janssen, Ralph, Romano, Renaud. Just go off of overall. So Andreas Janssen turned into a 78, which is pretty good. Walmark, Brown, Doust, and Leaked. We'll put Brown on the 4th line. And then centers, Harkin, Dauphin, Parson, Konechny. This AHL team is sick. Again, like the biggest victim, I'd say, is Mike Brown. I don't really have a spot for him on the NHL side of things if I want to play these younger dudes and try to develop them. So, but given the circumstances, I mean, it's Brown and Fedor Tutin who end up as the kind of victims to that mistake. But Tutin and Saunders, Beaudry and Mellock, Mills and Fairchild doesn't need to be in. We need that to be Sean Day. But yeah, this team is pretty damn good. Both of them, really. The goalies are the biggest questions in Portland, since we don't really have a prospect we're trying to build up right now. This has to be a playoff team, though, right? And there are still some other moves now that we know, like, okay, Fedor Tutin provides some depth. I just don't want to deal him immediately because we will get in trouble for that. I don't need, like, I only have 1 phone. I don't need them to take away all of the phones, for God's sakes. But yeah, that was a shitty aspect to this game that I forgot about until chat reminded me. So it's a little bit disappointing. But it does set the stage for a new era with Captain Connor McDavid. Torrey Krug. I lied. Captain Torrey Krug. It's got to be McDavid, right? It's got to be. I mean, it's either that or it's Max Domi's team. Or OEL. I mean, I do have the OEL Yotes captaincy jersey. It's too far away for me to reach it. I see it, though. Where the hell? Oh, he's up there because Ekman Larson. That makes sense. Ekman Larson, Domi, and Brandon Gormley. How Lucas Alessio, how the Coyotes thought they were going to be led into the future, and the players they would be led by. Perfect. Perfect. Connor, thank you for the raid, by the way. Number 97, Connor McDavid. You'll love to see it. AHL, first and foremost, the captain. Mike Brown. He's not going to be the NHL captain this year. But he had to be the AHL captain. We'll give another letter to Fedor Tutin. And fuck it, Laurent Dauphin. Why not? We got to make the playoffs this year, right? We have to. Look at that. 4.5, 4.5, and 4-star. Come on now. Okay, yeah. Okay, so like everybody has that rating, but like, come on now, right? Jesus Christ, like everyone's 4.5 star. Christ alive. We're going to make the playoffs. It's going to happen. Rest assured. This will be a worse record than we've ever had. You're right, but you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it, though. The season hasn't even started. You could let me believe, Taps. You could let me believe. Give me like 2 months worth of belief. Don't Oilers me and just immediately kill my hopes and dreams within seconds, okay? Give me just a little bit of positivity. My goodness. It's just cruel. Absolutely cruel. But yeah, so any of the guys that we traded away weren't going to end up having a higher role because their overalls were still lower. I can't imagine, like I said, Dylan Strome would have technically been an NHLer. And none of the other guys that we traded away, like I said, were anything too important. And again, Howerluck, Strome, Legwand, Stone, Kinnunen, Staples. I mean, yeah, no, a lot of the guys that we traded were unsigned prospects as well, for that matter. So I think we did okay. 3-1-2 in the preseason. Difficult team to beat. Okay. All right. I'm intrigued to see just how this team does, though. Now I'm nervous. We added in a bunch of veterans to the core roster we already had. I will say, in terms of goalies, Brendan Burke is probably, I saw he was in the minors for the Sens, but he is probably an NHL caliber goalie, but we had Taratukin to sign as a free agent, so. Carey Price is still the netminder in Montreal, too. Beat Calgary 3-2. Love to see it. It's going to be a long season. I was spoiled by the sim speeds last night on NHL 24 when we tested that out to see what that looked like. 2-0. This team may never lose again. 2-1. It's fine. Everything's fine. We have Vladimir Tarasenko next to Connor McDavid. If we don't make the playoffs, I deserve to be fired. But guess what? My name is Ken Holland, so I won't be fired. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. But Max Domi leading the team in PIMS. Matt Barzal. That would have been really weird to play Matt Barzal in the AHL this season just to discover, like, oh, he's actually a third liner. That would have been pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing indeed. Oof, Ottawa. Patrick Weirkoch, team leading scorer with 2 goals. Look out. The GOAT. Patrick Weirkoch. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. My goodness. All right. I forgot how slow the sim speed. Oh, no. Not the sim speed. Well, hey. Patrick Weirkoch. Yes. Yes, indeed. Wow, we started losing. We started losing a lot, didn't we? Okay, we might never win again.